that's the type of category of entrepreneurs, business owners, C-level executives that we're going to be talking to about retirement, talking about, potentially becoming your own bank using compound interest. These aren't going to your Joe Smo talking about $3,000 cremation plan.
Right.
It's not the same. And it's for anyone to put that on the same category, you're doing more harm to yourself than good.
Okay. Because that you really rolling over to my next, probably last question is pickups. I had an agent who started who swore up and down that, "Oh, I can't get anybody to pick up the phone. Nobody picks up. I don't know how you said all these people are being successful. Nobody's picking up the phone." What do you say to that person?
What I say to that person is, so for final expense, I had email systems, text blasts, like you name it. I had everything going out. So and I can do the exact same thing set up for these. I have not done that once with these IUL leads. And most of the time, most people would put a drip campaign on immediately, trying to get a hold of them. I personally, I'll dial these guys maybe twice a day and leave it alone. Come back to them 3 days later. And I know that blows people's minds, but as a business owner, if I see the same number on my phone 8 times, I'm not picking that thing up.
I agree with you. I agree with you wholeheartedly, man. Like I said, I don't sell, but I understand how we're targeting and how my team is setting up targeting. And one of the things I try to tell people is like, remember, you're speaking to basically yourself. How would you want to be treated? Do you want to be called 15 times? Do you want to get
That's
30
all it
voice
is.
messages? And then people are telling me, oh, well, they don't pick up the phone. I'm like, hey, look, man, I've looked at your campaign, another Girl I've campaign, who are killing it. You guys are in the same areas as another agent who actually stopped working with us. And that was his complaint. And then my last question, because I don't like telling everybody that everything's great. Please tell me the negatives or like things that you think me and my team can do better to improve this system, or what should the agent be like, hey, it is good, but here are some of the cons. If you could go into that, please, I'd appreciate it.
Man, it's kind of tough. I'm trying to honestly trying to think of some cons. Well, I'll say this for cons. I've gotten a couple states, and there's no easy way to. I mean, well, other than just shooting a message, hey, here's a couple of my states, re-add them. I mean, I haven't done that yet, but I'm really just trying to think of a con other than the leads drip in all the time. I mean, I can't really complain. I can't think of a maybe at 2 o'clock. I don't want it to zing, my phone to go off, but I'll put a silencer on. Like I'm trying to honestly maybe the 3 to 500, but again, that's just knowing your target. That's knowing how these individuals actually work. So, dude, I really think any of the complaints that are coming from is just individuals not understanding how people work, but not understanding that a lead is not a guarantee sale. And I understand maybe in the IUL world because they see, being transparent, getting 120 leads for 3,000, they see that as, oh my God, such a big investment. You sell one of those and you have the ability to make all your money back and then some. So like to think that you're going to get 120 sales is just stupid. Like that I don't even know how someone can fathom, you know, that to even get 3 sales, that would be a blessing. Like that's where I think people are just going into it with the wrong mindset. If you enter it with the right mindset, you really can't find complaints. And that's just obviously when I came, I had a bunch of questions. I didn't, obviously come on just straight with just, hey, yeah, cool, let's go. Like I dug in, I
Yeah.
asked a bunch of questions to ensure that it was what I wanted instead of, and some people just see it as a trend and just jump and just try to catch it. And I think that's part of the issue as well is they're in the wrong mindset while they're trying to get into a new system. When you're operating in business, you have to go into it with a clear head every time. You can't have it fogged at all. If you do, you're going to be blindsided. It's going to happen every time. And you're going to find complaints in anything when it's really usually a lack of work ethic.
Right, right. Okay. No, and I totally agree. It sounds better coming from you than from me. Because I try to tell people, I'm like, look, man, you paid $3,000 for our IUL leads, man. You can write one and make 10. We can write one and make five, right? If you get 100, even if you get
And
80, and I don't know. It's just hard for me. I try not to be rude or like mean, but like I said,
yeah,
I'm an agent, so it's difficult for me to sympathize with people. But that's why I always bring people on to, and people know. Anybody that's been on here, anybody that will watch this in the future, I swear to y'all, I never ask people before we get on here. That's why I didn't say anything to you beforehand. I
Hmm.
want the God's honest truth, want people's opinions. I want to know what people think. Because we take it and always try to improve. But I also understand like the numbers that me and my team came up with are based off of me being an agent and me knowing I understand what, as a business owner, you put this much in if you can get this much out. How much can you expect to max out of $3,000? You also have to be realistic.
Yeah.
You can't make 500 grand off of, and it's hard for some people. So
Well, I mean, in this industry, people don't understand. There's some people who only like they spend 1,000 to make 2,000, and they're happy. Like that's the best that they could do. Then what people don't understand is there's other industries like retail out there to where they spend, 1 mil to make 300 grand. Like you have to realize our industry is ungodly when it comes to ROI, and I think people forget that and need to take a step back and really grasp what they have a hold of
mhm.
and really come to perspective to it. And maybe they might be able to see it then.
Yeah, 100%.